So a few videos ago, there was a royal apologist talking about we need to be careful about Prince Andrew's mental health. We've now since then have many more royal apologists coming out and talking about Andrew's mental health again. And one of them is a person called Brendan O'Neill, who has written an article in The Spectator expressing sympathy for Prince Andrew. Yes, expressing sympathy. Now, this same person wrote a whole article destroying Meghan Sussex, I believe a couple of years ago, and he called her every name under the sun. And yet, we are supposed to have sympathy and empathy and compassion for Prince Andrew, who has been credibly accused of what he did to Virginia Giuffre, and also someone who has been arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public life. Now, Prince Andrew, as we know, he was connected to Jeffrey Epstein for decades. He has been accused of watching a child being injured with electric shocks. And this is a man who had women trafficked to him. And these women were trafficked to royal properties. And this man is receiving sympathy in a major British publication. Another person who's joined on that sympathy train is Emily Maitlis, the journalist who conducted the infamous Newsnight interview, and she said she feels concerned watching the story unfold, and she noted that two things can be simultaneously true, and that Andrew is a father, and there are children, and there is a mental health question. A mental health question for Andrew. Let me ask you something. Where was this compassion for Meghan, who did nothing, who has literally done nothing to you? Except for say, this is what happened to me while I was in that royal fold. That was all she did. Give her side of the story after years and years and years of smears, lies and leaks against her in the press. Meghan, who was suicidal, who told the institution that she needed help, who was denied mental health support because it wouldn't look good. Where was Brendel? Where was Brendan? Brendan? Yeah, Brenda, whatever his name is, Brendan. When did he ever write any sympathetic articles for Meghan? He didn't. He actually wrote abusive articles. Where was Emily Maitlis expressing concern about Meghan being a mother with young children? Where were the think pieces about two things can be simultaneously true when Meghan was being destroyed? They did not exist. They were never written. That compassion was never extended to her. Instead, Meghan got thousands of negative articles about avocados, baby shower, nail polish, the relationship with her father, her way of holding a pregnant belly, her existence, her breathing, her blinking. Yes, her blinking. And the double standard is unreal. And yet, a man accused of having connections to trafficking and assault, he deserves sympathy. He is a father. There are mental health concerns. It's unbelievable. So for me, it's almost as if they're saying that Meghan marrying Harry and moving to California deserves destruction. She is calculating, and that there is no concern for her well-being. It's unbelievable. So the institution that couldn't find compassion for a pregnant woman in crisis is now asking us to consider the mental health of a man accused of heinous crimes against children. And I think this is exactly the kind of thing I've been talking about, the double standards and the briefings in real life. This is real time. This is in full view of the public. And I'm still shocked that many people are not taking exception to this. Because whether you like Meghan or not, surely you can see the double standards. What must a royal person do to get sanctioned properly, to get, I don't know, even punished properly? Instead, people are reserving, especially the media, are reserving their hate for a woman who's not done anything to them. It's unbelievable. And when they talk about the fact that he is a father and things are difficult for him, what about the children who were trafficked? What about Virginia Giuffre, who died last year while still fighting for justice? What about the survivors who have spent years being dismissed and not believed? What about them? What about their mental health? What about their status as daughters? What about the difficulty of never being centered? What about people not caring about them? I think it's unbelievable. And Brendan O'Neill actually has form on this. This is a sort of article he writes because people are pointing out that he previously defended Jimmy Savile, one of the most prolific PDFs in the world, and he got away with it and he died peacefully. And nobody, while he was alive, including some reporters who knew exactly what he was, none of them held Jimmy Savile to account. And they also say that this Brendan guy has made a career of adopting positions that protect the powerful at the expense of the victims. And The Spectator actually published his defense of Prince Andrew. A mainstream publication gave space to sympathy for a man facing allegations of involvement in child abuse. Meanwhile, the same publication has spent years attacking Meghan for everything and nothing and for simply existing. So for me, I think the racism is fairly obvious. Yes, I'm going to name it, the R word. The racism is obvious because, like somebody in the comment section said, if it was a brown man molesting children, the reaction would have been completely different. And they are right, because the same people who are expressing sympathy for Andrew are also the ones who are demanding action for grooming gangs, specifically grooming gangs that are not white. But here we have one of the biggest and most powerful grooming gangs, but because the men are white, they are not being held accountable. In fact, they're being given sympathy. In fact, we're being told to consider their mental health. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Of course, Andrew is white. He is royal. Andrew is establishment. Therefore, Andrew deserves his mental health consideration. Meghan is biracial. She's American. Meghan challenged the institution. Therefore, Meghan deserves destruction. And somebody asked a question, which I felt was a very pertinent question. Is anyone compiling a list of public figures who are sympathizing with Andrew? Nobody may seem to be, but I am now. I've started noting now. So I named a couple of people in my previous video. I'm naming 2 people in this video. That makes 4. I'm going to find the others. Yeah, because we need to talk about it. But anyway, let me have your thoughts in the comments, please. My name's Elizabeth. I'm the author of The Luxpreneur. And for more insights like these, please like, share, comment, and follow me. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And to support my work in holding truth to power, please consider buying me a coffee. Yes, the biggest cup of coffee that you can on buymeacoffee.com/Elizabeth Solaru. Or you can pick up a copy of my book, The Luxpreneur, from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or from Waterstones.